What's up, guys? It's me again, the me you don't know, but that shouldn't matter for you to enjoy good stories. So let's get on with the show now, shall we? So, last we left off, we were doing a tournament for the graduating classes of junior high. A bunch of kids trying to participate in this tournament set up by UA to win a seat for UA's hero course. But Izumi here was one of the few participants. One of the very many. There was a bunch that ended up like participating in this tournament, which is one of the reasons it lasted for a good 2 weeks. And we're here to finish off this tournament, hopefully. I don't know how long this last battle's going to be. And speaking of which, let me explain that for a bit. So, the the um, the battles that had already happened, the one-on-ones and the two-on-twos, you know, those all happened in regular like what's the word? Like stadiums, kind of like the sports festival, how the final matches were. They were in a place like that, just inside a ring, one versus one. You get knocked out of bounds, or you KO your opponent. Uh, it was slightly bigger than the ones at the sports festival, just just slightly, and the 2v2s were the same. But this last one, it's um it's a bit more complicated than just a tournament battle. And you see, it doesn't really work if there were just like 10 people in a ring together and the last one standing wins. No, it's not going to work like that. You see, UA decided to be a bit special and actually like do a sort of like hero test, kinda. As these guys are on teams of two, right? There's 5 teams remaining, right? First, let me explain that they're going to be battling in a different location. It's going to be in one of those cities the entrance exam took place. And in these cities, these teams, they're going to have like bases they need to protect. Okay, so each team has a base somewhere in the city that they need to protect, right? And the objective is to take out all of the other team's base. It's not to knock out each other. It's not to like eliminate them well, kinda eliminate. You will eliminate them if you take out their base, but that's pretty much it. Protect your base, get rid of the others. So, and the thing is, these bases aren't like close at all. As you know, that city from the entrance exam is pretty big, right? So you've got space to cover, and UA is not providing any sort of equipment where that you can use to communicate with your partner if you choose to separate. So you could have one person to defend your base and then send someone else off, but you know, it's a tricky situation because if you both choose to go look for these other bases and take them out, then you're exposing your own. Well, you're leaving your own exposed, unprotected. It's yeah, and so yeah, that's about explains it pretty much. Yeah, and I'm going to throw in one of the characters from UA into this, and I thought adding Ida to this would be pretty hilarious because I figured he'd be able to make it to the finals, right? See, I wanted to add Uraraka, but knowing how her quirk was and how she was like in the beginning, like she couldn't fight at all and she was throwing up all over the place just from using her quirk. No, she wouldn't have made it. But I'm gonna say she did try. um, so yeah, let's just get into it. So uh, how do I even start this crap? Like May was partnered up with no, not May. Oh my god, I got the other what if in my head. Izumi. God, Izumi is paired up with Bakugo. Right, right. And there's these two other characters I introduced that are teamed up. One of them, one of them being this guy with the water manipulation, and I gave him the special ability to teleport, basically. Hop into a puddle of water and then come out in another puddle. The thing is, there aren't always puddles everywhere, so he has to make the puddle first before he can uh, teleport, basically. So he doesn't really move that far away because, yeah, unless he plops down some water and then moves away from it and then plop down some more water and then go between both of those points. Oh, and he can have a bunch around at once. So this kind of situation is pretty good for him because he can basically just run around and make puddles of water everywhere and just, like teleport back and forth however he pleases. But yeah, one downside though, he can't bring anyone with him. He can only teleport himself, basically. And it's not really teleportation, it's jumping through a puddle of water and popping up in another puddle of water. You know? Yeah. And the other, his partner was this chick, as she is a vampire, which gives her that super strength and super speed, um, enhanced senses as well. Uh, basic vampire stuff. So Yeah, these two are pretty much like the bosses of this level. If you were to say this was a game. But as you can see, I just made everything super complicated for what seemed like a normal tournament. It was all just to grab the best of the best and see how they would fare. And so, yeah, this would be a whole lot better if I had like a whole group of like characters to just throw in this and just have them all fight and see who would win. But I really didn't think this far ahead. you know, I would have expected to be at the USJ already, but I threw in this tournament and it just went off the rails. But you see, this is what happens when you don't use a script. It just goes off the rails. But anyways, let's continue. So so let's say they were given a day or two to rest up after their semi-final battles. So they're all like, let's say they were given like a 2 day break so that they could rest up. And so during these 2 days, Izumi would be she would be hanging with her family, you know, and let's say they were having like an early party, basically. So Momo is there, and a few other classmates were there. Is they're all like cheering on Izumi and whatnot, and and just overall having a good time and being real supportive and way too excited, thinking that like she could she could totally win and go to UA, and like because something like this is new to everyone, and they're all like, this is such a great way to get enrolled into UA and whatnot. And basically, the thing is, these are two extra like seats to UA. So instead of 20 in a class, there'll be 21. So, oh, and yeah, if you win, the I'll get to that when I get to that. Okay, so yeah, I can't be explaining everything that happens after before it even happens. Like, what's wrong with you, man? Okay, enough of that. Let's continue. So, Deku, he's obviously been watching her, you know, fight this tournament because he has played a part in helping her train. So he knows what she can do and what she can't do. And he's a bit wary of, those two people I mentioned. Because he's been watching everyone, excuse me, and he can clearly see that those two have not been fighting their hardest. They've just been playing around, and most of the time that the shark guy wasn't even doing anything. And so, not only does he have little information on them and what their quirks are, but they clearly weren't trying as hard as Izumi and Bakugo was. So Degu's thinking like they have a very slim chance of winning, though he will like give her good luck, like say good luck to her, though he knows that they most likely won't win. But who's to say that so Deku he pretty much like doesn't like Ida is not even on his radar, but he thinks that Izumi is better than everyone else there except like those two I mentioned. So Deku thinks that it might be a good idea to train for these 2 days, but for now he let her have her fun. So yeah. So that night, the this was right after the final matches of the tournament, the semi battles. You know, it's like the first couple of hours of their break. You know, it was still like I say like 3 in the afternoon when they got home and had their little party. So it's like night now. You know, just left the tournament and it's night now. Okay, okay. So after that night, they'd have 2 days of rest, and then they go back. So technically, it's 3 days, but the day of the fighting doesn't really count. So yeah, that's how I'm doing it. So anyways, Deku decides to go out like halfway, like not halfway, like nearing. Some point during their party is like 8 p.m. Yeah, and Deku decides to walk out. Right? Yeah, and that's when he runs into Alice. Cause she's there, of course, but she she had walked out too. Okay, she ain't really like being in a really loud space, so she had walked out, and Deku questions her why she didn't enter, and she straight up told him that it was because he didn't enter, and Deku's all like, "Well, I'm not really that interested in becoming a hero. Besides, we're already like technically heroes, though it kind of just happened." And Alice is all like, "Well, you could still like become a hero, but there are heroes that people don't know about, and yada yada yada. I tried. Okay, I can't." So a bit of a montage would be played here. It'd be a bit of a training montage with Deku and Izuki helping Izumi out. I guess I should say that Bakugo did come with them to train a bit as Bakugo got a lot stronger, I should say, because getting your quirk boosted so much, it gets boosted slightly, you know, how do I say that? It, his quirk got boosted like slightly, uh, permanently, like his quirk permanently got a little bit better, okay, a little bit stronger from being boosted way too many times, because his body got used to dishing out that much power, so he was able to naturally produce that much power. You understand what I'm trying to say now? God, no, it's so hard to explain. Jeez. So, you all know what time it is. It's time for me to end this video. Yes, I'm sorry if you guys were anxious for this fight that was going to happen, but well, I don't want to make this video too long, and I'm running on low sleep as it is. As you know, this time that I have to record is just right before I go to sleep, so I'd be tired trying to record this. So, like if you like, subscribe if you want, and comment down below if you enjoyed or not. Quirk suggestions, still asking for those, but it's fine. I'll just pick some random stuff, and I might just grab some random characters from other animes or shows or whatever. How funny would it be if I just throw Naruto in this? That'd be a nightmare to deal with. But I might do that now. Thanks for the suggestion, whoever did that. But okay, I'm out now. Bye.